How's it going, everyone? So with Jeff Hafley going to the Miami Dolphins, that leaves an open defensive coordinator position open for the Packers. And we're getting some reports of a few people that they are interviewing. So the first one, which is kind of a familiar name, as it kind of got some steam a couple years ago before we actually signed Jeff Hafley that he was going to get the position, is Christian Parker. So Christian Parker is currently, or he was with the Eagles last year as their pass game coordinator, also held as a defensive backs coach for a few years over with the Denver Broncos. And he did a relatively pretty good job, and he's been moving up the ranks. So now he's getting another interview with the Packers for the defensive coordinator position. And just a small stat for him, last year when he was with the Eagles as their pass game coordinator, he allowed opposing quarterbacks to a 75.4 passer rating, which was second best rate in the league, only behind the Los Angeles Chargers. Most of the defenses that he has been on the pass game, he has been pretty good in. Granted, he has also been with Vic Fangio for a few of those years, both with the Broncos and the Eagles, but still, nonetheless, he is part of success over there on the defensive side and has been moving up the ranks. Now, for the second coach that they're interviewing is Durante Jones. He's mainly spent time with the Minnesota Vikings for the last 5 to 6 years. He did lead the Vikings in 2021 before returning in 2022. And he was pretty much a defensive backs coach and then also added passing game coordinator duties in the last 3 seasons. He's mainly played under Brian Flores as D coordinator, so take what you want out of that with a grain of salt. But he did learn and get mentored by Brian Flores, who's also probably getting an interview eventually for one of this defensive coordinator spots, hopefully. It's definitely on the top of my list. But either way, we are getting a protege of some sorts from Brian Flores' crew as an interview for the defensive coordinator position. And then lastly, the third interview report that we have is former Cardinals head coach Jonathan Gannon. Now, something to note, Jonathan Gannon did not call plays while in Arizona because you might think of the Arizona Cardinals. Their defense was atrocious back during his tenure as a head coach. He was not responsible for calling plays and entirely coaching the defense. So if you want to pin that on him or not, I'll leave that up to you, but something to note while making that decision. But something to note, when he did become a defense, or when he was a defensive coordinator in 2021 to 2022, when he was with the Eagles, his passing or the passer rating that he allowed the opposing QBs was at an 88.7, which was 12th best in the league. In comparison sakes, when Joe Barry was our coordinator at the time, it's going to be a little bit of a shock. Joe Barry allowed an 87.6 passer rating, which was 9th best in the league. A little shocking to actually read that, but just for some slight comparison sakes. But something that Jonathan Gannon does pretty well is disguise coverage and actually has a decent resume. He's still not at the top of my list, but I wouldn't be mad entirely at this hire if we went that route. There's still a lot of time to go with more interviews to go, but wouldn't be mad at this hire. I think he's more towards the top of the list than the bottom of the list. And so the Packers are making quick move to try to interview defensive coordinators to try to get one of the top candidates, I hope, to fill that position that Jeff Hafley has left void. But we'll see as time goes, as the rest of this week, who else they bring in for interviews, and I'll also report on that. So let me know what you think down in the comments. If you liked the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and as always, go Pack Go.